More common, of course, is the long-term real estate investor receiving rental income, interest income, things of that nature that are considered, from a tax perspective, passive. How can I save taxes if my corporation is earning passive income? I'm George Duby, saving the world from tax, one bow tie at a time. Passive income, again, from a tax perspective, as compared to what we might consider passive income from a real estate investor's perspective. So passive income from a tax side, I'd like to really describe as, in Revenue Canada's eyes, it's rent or interest, for example. But the concept is I can be earning that income while sitting on my couch throughout the day. I'm not actively involved into it. So here, depending on the province or territory, my initial tax rate is approximately 50%, 50. That's very similar to what my maximum personal tax rate would be. Again, depending on the province or territory. So initially, there might be a little bit of savings or a little bit of cost, depending on my exact level of income, province or territory. More interesting is that on the personal side, if I've paid my 50-ish% tax, that money is gone. See you, never getting it back. On the corporate side, I've locked in roughly a 30% refundable tax amount. And that refund can be triggered to my corporation. Yes, Revenue Canada will write me a check, deposit my money, if I paid out a dividend to a qualified individual. I have to be considering what the personal taxes are. But if I can drain my 50% tax bracket down to 20% after the 30% refund, that's something I want to be thinking about. And then on the personal side, depending on my tax bracket, that tax may be a little bit worse than if I just earned it personally, or it may be significantly better. So as an example, perhaps I have no other source of personal income. Maybe a bunch of my income is at a corporate level and I don't need to pay myself out of a particular company, such as in my case, where I'll have a variety of my professional income at the corporate level, and I can leave it there, or I can take investment income, triggering refundable taxes. If I have no other source of income, I can pay myself, roughly speaking, $40,000 a year, and I would pay less than $2,000 in taxes on the personal side. Those are taxes that I can afford. And just because I increase that above the 40,000 doesn't mean I'm in an astronomical tax bracket right away. It means there's planning to be done. Talking with your advisor to see what that total picture is between corporate and personal. But please don't default to the concept that paying that 50% tax on the corporate side is good or bad. It could be either. And give a lot of thought. And here's where I think a lot of people go sideways, to what happens down the road. In other words, if we're just measuring on day one, maybe the corporation is worse. But now let's consider, well, down the road, I might be in a retirement mode, or retirement in a semi-fashion. Or my spouse, they may do the same. Maybe both of us will always be in a high tax bracket, and instead, we're looking to the next generation or the generation thereafter. Maybe my entire family will always be in a top bracket, and as I am trying to, at some point in time, change my structure or do some succession estate planning, I sell some of my real estate portfolio. But instead of selling the buildings directly, perhaps I approach other investors and say, why don't you buy my shares of the company? By the way, there's several $1 million in refundable taxes there. Let's split the difference. Now I've gotten something out of nothing. If I was always paying that high tax bracket or thereabouts on the personal side, the money was gone. The corporate side, I might lose some time value of money, but I've still got something at the end of the rainbow. Thanks for watching. And again, it's summary in nature. There's a lot more to it that will also be dependent on your particular situation. Have more questions? Please subscribe, follow, and even share. I want all of us to have the tax information we need to do wonderful things.